the military censorship has dreadful consequences on press freedom in Russia. The vast majority of independent media have been blocked in the country or forced to shut down. And because, the authorities adopted draconian laws, the journalists who stay in their country cannot continue to work independently.
February 24th, 2022 has become a turning point for independent Russian journalism because with the launch of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Russian authorities have also launched new repressive measures or crackdown on independent media.
Many leading foreign media like BBC, CNN, Bloomberg, so on, have decided to suspend broadcasting or news gathering in Russia since the amendment about so-called false information about the Russian armed forces. The amendment passed on 4th March that punished this so-called false information by up to 15 years in prison.
We are talking about hundreds of journalists who have fled Russia. I cannot give you the exact estimates, but we know of dozens and dozens of journalists in Istanbul, Tbilisi, Yerevan, in the Baltic states and in some European countries and even in the United States who have fled Russia since the war started. In Central Asia, a lot of journalism, especially when media outlets covered issues that went beyond domestic issues, especially regional or international politics, for example, they often copied whatever Russian media outlets produced in Russia because simply they didn't have the capacity to produce or to research their own news. I've seen a lot of media outlets that have fallen victims of Russian propaganda, just often repeating the same narrative that the Kremlin usually distributes in Central Asia and in the Caucasus, in Eastern Europe, where Russia went beyond just distributing propaganda, but also supported or even created new media outlets, including the Baltic states, and supported them financially in order to have that effect of propaganda on local populations. And right now, I think we can say that for many media outlets in those regions, it's a time when they have to decide whether they want to report the truth or whether they want to go maybe, to take a more convenient for them from financial point of view, pass and continue repeating the same narrative.
After dispatching the national independent media, there are no targeting the local media. If I can give you an example, for instance, in the Altai region, there is a very local, critical local media outlet called Listok. And the owner of this media in Altai region, called Sergei Mikhalkov, is in jail. Is facing up to 15 years in prison because his newspaper has provided coverage of the war from the start, including interview with Volodymyr Zelensky, reports about the Bucha massacre, and so on. For those who want to continue to work independently without this high risk, the only solution is to flee